Does your website need more traffic? Well, visit overflowcafe.com today. They make websites popular, and over 41,000 people use their service to gain more customers. They are winning at business. What about you? Visit overflowcafe.com today.
Welcome to Rockafellas Barbershop. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will be blessed and be glad in Him. Today I want to introduce myself. My name is Rico Rodriguez at Rockafellas Barbershop here in San Antonio, Texas, 1733 Babcock Rd. My phone number is 210-782-5188. Come out and get your haircut here at Rockafellas Barbershop. You are listening to I Am Refocused podcast on iHeartradio.
You are listening to I Am Refocused podcast with your host, Shemaya Reed. This podcast is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. Now, let's tune into today's podcast.
This is I Am Refocused podcast, and today, man, you know what it is. It's Thursday at Rico Rodriguez Barbershop, Rockafellas Barbershop, the owner, Rico Rodriguez. Big shout out to him. He's been our partner since 2017, September, when we first launched the podcast. Before we can get started today, I want to give some quick shouts to some other sponsors. Miss Kim of River City Donuts. You want the best donuts in town, head over to 1723 Babcock Rd, San Antonio, Texas. Big shout out to Baby McClinton, our sports speed and conditioning. He's been training some awesome, amazing athletes. If you want to see for yourself, head over to allsportsfitness.net. Also want to give a shout out to D.W. Brooks Funeral Home. And last but not least, does your business need some traffic for their website? Head over to overflowcafe.com. They are 41,000 members strong, clients who are using their services to get more eyes on their websites. So today we have a awesome athlete in the house, NFL, Mr. Darrell Green, playing for Buffalo Bills, running back. How you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing really well. How about yourself? Thank you guys for having me here as well.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming, man. So just tell us, how you feeling right now, man? It's off season, man. What's your days like, man?
I feel good. Life is kind of slow right now, but, thankful, blessed to be alive. I have no complaints. Life is just slow, just working out right now. I'm just getting ready to go back and get back to work next week.
And what's awesome, man, born and raised in San Antonio. So you represent the city, 210.
For sure.
Let me just ask you about that, man. How does it feel to be able to represent San Antonio, man?
It means everything to me because, like you said, I'm born and raised here, over off 78, Converse. And so just to see so many people come before me, my mom and my dad used to take me to a lot of high school football games, and, that's kind of where I developed my passion and my love for the game. And, from that moment on, I knew that's what I wanted to do, from the time being, as long as I could. So, it means a lot to me to do that and to be able to be successful in high school and college and, now playing professional, and just to, help put San Antonio on the map. So, it means a lot.
And what's awesome, you go through high school playing football, you go through college. How was the transition going to the next level, the elite league, man, NFL? Not everybody has that opportunity to make it there.
Well, actually, each level was harder. Coming from middle school, I went to Woodlake Hills. When I went to Madison, it was a lot harder from the freshman team. And then, I got moved up to varsity. Varsity was like, it just rocked my world for the first couple of weeks because it's like, damn, this is hard. And then from then, I went to college. And then when I went to college, I was like, wow. The game is so fast. People are so big. And, and then when you went to college, went to the NFL, and it was like, man, this is as high as it gets. And, so the transition was always, kind of tough. But, once you stick to it and you just keep going, you become a part of it, and, you just get adapted to the game.
And take us back to high school, man. What was going through your mind as you were adjusting to each opportunity to upgrade your level?
What was on my mind? In high school, that's when the game was at its purest form. So, there wasn't really a lot of thought. to it. It was just playing the game because you loved it, playing it with your peers, your brothers and your family. And so, but I do remember like my first practice on varsity in the spring, and I was like, man, like what is this? Like, like, you know, there were college scouts behind me, and, you know, they were watching the practices, and, you know, here I am, 14, 15 years old. Like, damn, this is a whole nother world. This ain't Woodlake Hills Middle School. So, you know, that was pretty much my thought process. But like I said, man, it was all fun. Football, especially in high school, was at its purest form. So it wasn't really that much thought into it, just to have fun. And then as I got older, that's when you started thinking about college and putting that into consideration and things such as that.
And when you're in college now, fast forwarding from high school, you know, classes, balancing classes and going to practice and going to games and just transportation, how did you balance all that? I mean, you did it successfully, but take us through that, man. I
did it as successfully as I could. Maybe not as I could. I could have probably done a little better. But, you know, it's hard. And that's a whole nother topic in itself. If you want to get into the whole NCAA thing, and, you know, how much they take of our time, and, you know, how much money we bring in, and, you know, we can't even really choose a major that you will actually want to, because, you know, a lot of times your football schedule contradicts some of the classes that you will be able to take, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, just to factoring all that in and all the time that they require of you, you know, it's hard, you know, coming from high school to where you barely have any homework. You just come home, mom bring pizza by, eat pizza, play the video games, shout out to moms, and you just do whatever, you know what I'm saying? But in college, like, you know, it's so much required of you, you know, it's kind of almost unfair. But, you know, like I said, it's all an adjustment. You know, your first year is always the hardest. School is always the hardest when your first year in college. And so, you know, it's just time management and all those things. And, you know, you also have to keep the right people around you, you know, because a lot of people do flunk out. So
that's true. And when it comes to your teammates at TCU in college, how did y'all stay close when y'all weren't on the field? What's some of the things y'all did? Y'all just study film all the time, or how did y'all stay close?
Honestly, I feel like I was very, very fortunate to go to TCU when I did, because I met a lot of lifelong friends. You know, I've been graduated from TCU. I think this December it'll make 3 years. And, you know, I have people that I talk to every single day, you know, since I graduated, since we stepped foot last on the field. And so I just think it was the right timing and the people that were brought in my path, and I was brought in their path. You know, just the same common interest, the same views on life, the same views on the things that actually matter outside of sports. And so I just think ultimately that's what connected us. But, I mean, like, there wasn't like a whole lot of film watching, like, outside of, you know, when we were required to. But just outside of ball, like, man, we would all be at people's houses, or, you know, go to the movies, hit a couple parties, you know, just things such as that, man. It was all love. It was all genuine. Definitely some times I'll never forget, for sure.
And take us to the situation in 2016 when you get your chance to have your first taste of the NFL experience. Were you nervous at all, or were you like, man, it's time, I'm ready? What was going through your mind at that moment of time?
I'm trying to think about how it was. It seems so long ago. I think when I just found out I was going to the Rams, I was just like, wow, like, I'm going to Los Angeles, you know? Like, you know, and everything that LA has to offer. But I think just getting there, you know, it's very nerve-wracking because, you know, it's your job now, and we all know how cutthroat the professional realm is. You know, your boss can, you know, cut you from your job and not lose sleep over it the next day or that night. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you gone, oh, well, I got money to feed my family, to fend for yourself. So when you're, you know, 21, 22, 23 years old, going into a lifestyle like that, it's just like, damn. You know? So that's why I said, like, in high school, it was just football. College, there were politics, but it was also more fun. But in the NFL, it's not just football. You know what I'm saying? It's more than that. It's how you going to feed yourself, how you going to feed your family if you have one, you know, things such as that. So coming in there with that knowledge and that understanding is very nerve-wracking. And to know that, you know, someone else can determine when my last play is, like, it's a scary feeling. It's a scary feeling. So going there, you kind of have to balance, like, man, let me just play, let me have fun. But at the same time, just like, I got to do good or else, you know, I'm out of here.
And when you had that first game stepping on the field, and you know you're now with the same opportunity of the greatest in the game to be able to be in the league, were you still in that mindset, man, this is just what I'm doing now is my job, or were you just in another zone?
Oh, I was definitely in another zone. My first game, I was like, it's go time. Ain't nobody stopping me. As soon as I get the ball, whenever I get my opportunity, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Actually, my first game was in the preseason. It was actually against the Dallas Cowboys. And, you know, that was kind of surreal in itself, you know, going to school in Dallas-Fort Worth. And, you know, just being raised in San Antonio, we all know how big the Cowboys is. And so for my first time to step in actually in a real game in the Los Angeles Coliseum, you know, where I grew up wanting to go to USC, you know, and that's USC's home field. And so to actually play against the Cowboys and play on that field, it was just like, wow, like there's nothing that's going to happen that's going to stop me from shining this game. And, you know, ultimately that's what happened. Excuse me. I had a really good game, scored a touchdown. It was just like, you know, it is what it is. Like, I was on the sideline the whole time. You know, I was a rookie, so I knew I wasn't going to get into the second half, but I was real calm. That's probably the calmest I've ever been in the game. I was just like, bro, like, I'm about to do this. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I did. I mean, I had a whole lot of fun.
And how was media experience compared to college and the pro league? Is there any much of a difference or not really? It's just not like a routine.
It's not much different. You know, it's the same. You don't want to tell the media too much. So we all know how the media can, you know, take your words and twist it and pretty much paint a picture of how they want it to be, you know, to get more clicks and, you know, to get popping or however you want to call it. So, you know, you never want to tell the media too much. But also in the professional world, you also have to pay close attention of what you do more so off the field because, you know, everybody wants to, you know, post something on Instagram like, oh, Ezekiel Elliott did this or, oh, LeBron James did
TMZ.
this. You know, TMZ. Yeah. TMZ is big in California. So, you know, I think that's really the biggest adjustment is pretty much you can't be as free off the field or off the court or, you know, whatever you're doing.
You know somebody's watching.
Right. Somebody is always watching. Somebody always wants to catch you doing something for their benefit, sadly. It's sad how this world works.
And also, being in the league, it also gives you opportunity for community service. What's some of the things that you've been able to do giving back to the community now that you're in the NFL?
I do a lot of public speaking. So whenever my brother, I have two brothers that teach, but one of my brothers, my oldest brother, Tony, teaches here in the inner city. And, you know, pretty much every year, multiple times I go back and just speak to the kids, man. And, you know, I'll play recess with them or go to PE class with them. Like, you know, it's a lot of things that I do, you know, but it's more so like just me going and visiting and, you know, just spending time with these kids because I feel like ultimately that's what these kids need more than anything is time, you know, and for someone to be there, show them that they care about their everyday life. And, you know, and that's me, you know what I'm saying? I was born with a big heart, born with a soul and a spirit for people. And so, you know, that's right up my alley. So, you know, whenever I can, you know, whether it's building playgrounds in Inglewood, California, for the kids, anything, man, anything to help and pour into our next generation, like I'm all for it. So that's more so what I do when it comes to giving back.
And while you're as a professional football player, you get to travel a lot, just like college days. You get to travel out and go to different states and play in different stadiums. What's your favorite part of the process of being able to having the opportunity to be exposed to different cities every week?
I'm a traveler. My mom will tell you I'm a traveler. I love to travel. I love to go out the country. I love to see different places, and I love to see different cultures. I know, like, traveling in-state, the cultures may not be as different as traveling out the country, but it's still different, you know, and I just feel like that's how you learn more about people and ultimately about yourself as well as traveling. So I think just going and seeing different states that you would have never thought you would have been if it wasn't for the sport. Like, you know, in college, I went to Wyoming. Like, when am I ever going to go to Wyoming on my free time? You know what I'm saying? My rookie year, I had a wonderful opportunity. We played the New York Giants in London. I got to go to London for a whole week. So, you know, just things like that. Like, it's just like, dang, like, when am I ever gonna? I mean, I could, but like, when am I ever just on my own time just gonna say, you know what? Let me go to Wyoming. Let me go to Minnesota. You know, and so I really appreciate that, and just seeing the different landscapes and, you know, the different vibes in different places. And, you know, it's cool, man. I've almost been to almost all 50 states because of the sport. And so, yeah, that's been a huge part that I really enjoy.
And what's awesome about this podcast episode, there's going to be a ton of high school students who are playing football who want to have some advice from Aaron Green. What's some words of wisdom that you would give to young athletes out there who are grinding, they got big dreams, maybe one day they would like to be in the NFL like you? What's some words of wisdom you think they should know?
It's simple. Just have fun. Just have fun, because there's going to come a day where the sport isn't as fun as it is. It's not going to be as pure. It's not going to be as fair. You know what I'm saying? So just have fun, work hard, stay humble, man, and, you know, keep good people around you, because ultimately that's going to be a big factor of determining where you go. And I can't say it enough. Have fun, man. Like, the game is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to play it because you love it. You know, so don't make it so much about business. Don't worry about college. Like, if it'll happen, it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? So just have fun with your friends, because those are moments that you're never going to get back. I don't even know what she said.
What's that, Mom? Grades and attitude.
Oh, yeah, grades and attitude, for sure. Thank you, Mom. You know,
shout out to Mom.
For sure. Like, pay attention to your grades, because, I mean, without grades, you're not going to be able to go to college anyways, you know? So that's really important. And then also, on top of that, you know, the sport is going to end, you know, at some point in time. So you definitely want something to lead you, you know, to where you want to go. And ultimately, that's school.
And that is a perfect segue to this question. I ask this to everyone on the show. As an individual, how do you define success to you?
How do I define success? It's just ultimately just being happy. You know, I've never been money driven. I never really cared about, you know, followers on social media. All that stuff is stupid. It's empty to me. So just being happy and being content with where you're at. And I think a lot of that, I think where you're at spiritually in your heart and in your spirit determines what happiness is, you know, because happiness is different for everybody. But for me, just having my family around, my family proud of me for what I'm doing, whatever that is, me being true to myself, being having a high level of integrity, to me, that's happy. That's happiness. That's peace, you know, and that's joy, you know, and so that's something that is priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. You know, it's a lot of rich people out here that are miserable. You know what I'm saying? That will trade their life for, you know, Joe Blow off Babcock. You know what I'm saying? So
that's real.
That's not happiness to me. You know, I once said, I think what was it? Bob Marley said, you know what I'm saying? Numbers are infinite. You know what I'm saying? If you're chasing money to be happy, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be chasing that for a long time. That's you know what I'm saying? It's all about what else can I do to get this? Can I get this? Can I get this? Can I get this? But for me, I got love, I got joy, I got peace. When my mother's here, you know what I'm saying? I got my dad in my life. I got my brothers doing well. They're married. You know what I'm saying? I'm living with my niece. I get to see her grow every day. Like, man, that's the biggest joy ever that I can have. You know what I'm saying? So just do that, living right, have the right state of mind, peace of mind. Like, that's happiness and that's joy for me easily.
Man, I have to ask this next question. Now that, you've been in the NFL for a little bit, man, is it what you always dreamed it to be, or is it even better?
That's a good question. I guess it's what I dreamed, because just being a part of the game, whether it's in high school and college, I knew a lot of people in the league, a lot of people that played college football that, that fortunately for me, that was able to pour into me to tell me, this is how it's going to be, this is how it's going to be, they're going to do this, they're going to do this. Mm-hmm. And so, I kind of already knew what to expect. It's different when you get there and you're actually in it and you're actually experiencing it. But at the same time, nothing that I've seen hasn't come to too much of a surprise, if that makes any sense.
That does. How has your family reacted through the process of you making it to the NFL?
They've reacted very well. I mean, like, if it wasn't for them, they're my sanity. You know what I'm saying? They are my strength. And so for them to be, I'll never forget, it was my last preseason game of my rookie year. And anything about the NFL, you get 4 preseason games, and the last preseason game, the very next day is when they make the final cuts. Mm-hmm. So, pretty much you playing this last game, the only thing on your mind is, shit, am I going to have a job tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? So, and I remember we were in Minnesota, and I remember I never really get too nervous before games. It's just always like, it's a game, like I told you, against the Cowboys. It was like, whatever, like, I'm finna do this. Mm. But for some reason, that game, I know for a reason, because I knew the next day I was going to find out my destination was going to happen. But I was so nervous. So damn nervous. I could not breathe during warm-ups. Like, I could not, I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, I really could not breathe. And I remember doing warm-ups, just warming up, and I was just tired. I was just like, wow, like, I'm really letting this get to me. And I remember I was back there catching kickoff returns, and I remember hearing, Aaron, cheers. Mm-hmm. Man, I must have turned around and I seen my mom up in the stands. I seen my aunt and I seen my cousin.
Wow. And
words can't even describe how much that calmed me, you know what I'm saying, to see, you know what I'm saying, the woman who brought me into this world, being up there supporting me with, just genuine support, genuine love, and my aunt and my cousin. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like, I was so nervous. And just to see them, like, they weren't worried about that. They was, waving their hands like you would think they were in the club somewhere. So just to see that, man, it was just like, wow, like, this stuff don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? I got the people behind me that really does matter. And so with them there and with them off the field, you know what I'm saying? I've been cut twice. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I lost my job twice. Mm-hmm. And, they were there for me then, just like they were there for me in the stands, And so that's why I said, man, my family is my rock. My family is my everything. And so they've been huge for me in this process, because this lifestyle is extremely stressful. But, having them there, they keep me grounded and they keep me reminded of, what's truly important.
That's real.
So how do you keep your balance? How do you keep everything balanced?
In what way?
You said it's extremely stressful, and then you went from high school to college football to NFL. So what keeps you balanced? What keeps you focused?
I think just knowing what's real in this life and what's not, and also just the knowledge that I have obtained from myself. I understand that. This stuff, it really doesn't matter. I'm driven by love, I'm driven by peace, and I'm driven by family. And, I believe that, God has his or her hand on my life. Mm-hmm. And, I can't really, what else is it to worry about? I go through a lot of ups and downs in this life, but at the end of the day, man, it's a game. it's a game. It's just a game, and life is not a game.
Right.
You know, so there's so many more things going on that's worse than what I'm going through or what I've seen or, you know. But at the end of the day, man, like, I'm alive. I have breath in my body. I have food on the table. You know, the people around me is healthy. Like, man, you can't really complain about that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you can, then, I mean, you're just a product of, you know, spoiled America, you know? And so, and I try to distance myself from that as much as I can. And, you know, life is good, man. Life is too short to you know, to stress over things that don't really matter. And I'm not saying that it doesn't matter, because it does matter, because every time I've lost my job, that it hurt. It hurt me to the core. But, you know, just like in every situation, you know, you lie down and bleed for a little while, but, you know, you're going to have to get back up at some point. And so that's just what I do, and I just keep it moving. And, you know, like I said, life is good. No complaints.
And you are now with currently Buffalo Bills. How excited are you to go to Buffalo, man?
I'm really excited. I actually they actually signed me towards the end of the year. So, you know, I got to, you know, go to the playoff game in Jacksonville, Florida. We ended up losing that game, but you know, just the whole process is just a whirlwind, man. Like, I wish I had time to tell you like how I got a call, what I was doing. Like, man, it's just a whirlwind, man. So, you know, I'm really excited to go back. Like I said, I go back this Saturday, so I'm just really excited to go back and get to work and, you know, just continue to do what I love.
And when you step on that field again, what do you think is going to go through your mind at that moment?
Just ball.
Just ball.
Just ball.
You need a T-shirt.
It ain't no.
That's cool.
It ain't not. It's just not overthink. Because at the end of the day, what I got to lose?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing to lose but everything to gain. Like, you know, I have the right people around me. You know, I'm living right. Been living right. You know, just lay it all out there, man. Whatever happens, happens. You know, no need to be sad about it, to pout about it, or anything. Just go have fun, man. I feel like that's when I play my best, anyways. Is when I'm loose. You know, it's funny because I feel like every time I have gotten cut, I feel like my mom is taking it harder than me. She's always, you know, asking me like, you know, you okay? Or I could just tell she's very concerned. I'm like, Mama, I'm fine. Like,
she's a mother.
Like, I'm fine, man. I'm happy. Like, you know, and so, yeah.
I mean, what's awesome, you were saying these common threads that a lot of people who have been on the show have been saying, and that's mindset plus clarity. And you obviously have that. What do you say to an athlete out there, because there's going to be a lot listening, who may be lacking clarity in the right, correct mindset to put them in the better position to succeed in life? What should they be doing to get back on track?
Honestly, I just feel like they have to find what works for them, because, you know, everybody's mind is different, and you know, what brings some people peace may not bring someone else peace. And so I just feel like it's all about finding your truth, what works for you. You know, I found what works for me that gives me a clear mind, that makes me not worry as much. But, you know, it might not work for the next man or the next woman. And so, but I also want to say that having a clear mind and having that clarity is probably the most important thing that you can do, whether it's with sports or without sports, because we all know that the mind is, you know, the most powerful thing on earth. You know, whatever, wherever your mind goes, your body goes, your action goes, you know.
True.
And so having a clear mind and not having it polluted with all these bad thoughts and bad images and bad actions, like, when you free yourself from that, man, there's only good things that can happen, because wherever the mind goes, your life will follow. You know, your attitude will follow. And so, yeah, so whatever works for you, do it. You have to find it. You gotta soul search. You have to, you just have to find yourself. And I feel like ultimately that's what this life is about, is, you know, finding your truth and being happy.
And you are doing what you're passionate about and what you love. If you had one awesome memory, whether it was in college, football, high school, maybe from a coach or someone who said something to you, what comes to mind? Like maybe someone had a talk with you that really set the tone with your mindset right now.
With my mindset, honestly, it probably wasn't as much as a talk. It was probably just the things that I've been through. Honestly, I feel like your life lessons are the best teachers. And so I think everything that I went through in college kind of really set the tone of how I think today. I think in high school, I was so innocent. I was so naive. I was so just blinded to, you know, the real world or the negative things that can happen to you. And then in spite of that, you still have to go do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have so much respect for my elders and, you know, my parents, because, you know, in spite of I know they've been through things that I don't even know of, but in spite of that, they still provided for me and my brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's huge. Yeah. That's bigger than what people give credit for. You know what I'm saying? And I think going to college and, you know, whether it was going through heartbreaks or, you know, going through problems at home or, you know, being frustrated, transferring schools. I transferred schools. You know, I got to TCU, still wasn't playing. When I got to TCU, got my heart broke. Like, man, it's so much stuff, you know what I'm saying, that's happened, that's, you know, developed my mindset, that's developed my spirit today. So, and that goes to say, I feel like, you know, your life lessons are, you know, the best teachers. And I feel like from that, you know, it's taught me a lot and it's made me to who I am today. And, you know, I'm just so thankful for it. So thankful for it. So that's what I wouldn't say it's more so a talk, but definitely what I've been through and the game, because the game has also taught me a lot about life. You know, the correlations go hand in hand.
Yes, sir. And also, I want to ask this question. I'm sure a lot of NFL fans, just football fans in general, will want to know this. You know how you see on the networks, ESPN, ABC, whatever, before game time, they always got the headphones jamming to music. Do you do that?
Oh yeah. I
gotta ask you this question, man. What music do you listen to that get you in the zone before game time?
Before games,
is it classical music?
Classical? Nah, I'm not one of those. It really just depends on the mood. Like usually, or like where we're going. Like because usually if you're on an away game, you usually stay like in a hotel like 45 minutes away. So I think leading up, like getting on the bus and going to the stadium, wherever that is, you know, I kind of like to slow it down. I like to just relax. I can't just go all in, like, you know, 45 minutes on the bus.
No bone crushes.
Right. When you get there, like you sit in the locker room for like 45 minutes and then you just go on the field, like just in regular clothes, like just to walk around and, you know, relax. And then, like, you know what I'm saying? When you get to the stadium, like you still got 2.5, 3 hours before the game. So you can't just, you know, just listen to hard stuff just from the get-go. So, you know, I like to listen to, you know, R&B. I'm a huge R&B person. I'm a huge reggae fan, so I listen to a lot of J Boog and Fiji, Bob Marley, K Nova, people such as that. But then when it's time to go, like it's time to go. So, you know, I'm a huge Future fan, so I'll be bumping a whole lot of Future, Drake, Migos. All the things that just get me going. Because, you know what I'm saying, when you get out there, you know what I'm saying, it's just like when if you're going to a party, you know what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10 you're not finna listen to classical music while you're pre-gaming.
Unless you know really what I'm saying? Dangerous, man. Got that
so
shot,
you mean 9 times out of 10 you're not finna, you know, listen to jazz before you go to the club. I mean, if you do, I mean, I listen to R&B before I go to the club, so I mean, it is what it is. But But you know what I'm saying? You wanna listen to something that gets you in that mood. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's different, but for me, you know what I'm saying? I love Future, I love Drake. You know what I'm saying? I love it.
In the whole atmosphere, you know, you're talking about NFL, you got all these crazy fans yelling, screaming in costumes. How do you zone out of that and just focus on the game and the plays?
I think the game does that for you. You know, it's just so much going on. But it's just like you just have to focus on you. You have to focus on around you. And that's why I said I feel like the game correlates so much to life, because in life it's going to be a whole lot of noise. It's going to be a lot of people cheering, a lot of people rooting against you. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be opposite people you can view as the opposite team going against you, wanting to see you lose. And, you know, it's all the same. It's all the same. But you know that the only way you're going to actually win or have a good chance of winning is focusing on yourself and focusing on the game plan that y'all practice all week. And, you know, and so like when you're doing that, man, you don't even hear everything else unless your mom is screaming during warm-up.
Does she ever come?
Yeah.
Does she ever come in the locker room with some soup?
Oh, no.
Not yet.
Although she was outside the locker room our last preseason game in Minnesota. Okay. That was cool. But no, none of that.
Now, you're obviously a very, very close family guy, and you're very humble. And that's very awesome for you to be in this position, to be in a league that everybody's dreaming about being a part of. Do you ever pinch yourself and say, "Man, am I still dreaming, or is this real?" Or are you used to it now?
I'm used to it. I'm definitely used to it. And I think also for me, like, it's never really been a high moment for me because I never really just viewed it as things like that anyways, you know. I feel like, you know, I'm on the same level as everybody, and I truly believe that, and it is the truth, you know. Like I said, I'm playing a game, you know what I'm saying? I'm playing a child's game for a living. Like, in the grand scheme of things, how special is that really? Like, you know, I've been given great gifts, but I've also been given even greater gifts, you know, that's not athletically. And so just to see what other people do around me outside of the sport, like, it's just as inspiring to me. You know what I'm saying? It makes me want to be better in what I'm doing. And so I don't think I've ever had that, oh, I'm actually here, you know, moment, because, I mean, it's just, you know, it is what it is. It's just a game. It's fun. But, you know, at some point it's going to end. But, you know, you got some people out here, you know, pouring into our kids. You got people out here teaching, you know what I'm saying? All these bad kids out here nowadays, you know, that's real courage to go in there every day to this, you know, to that, you know what I'm saying? Or you got people fighting fires, you know what I'm saying? You got doctors, you got lawyers, you got janitors, whatever it is, you got people out there doing it, you know what I'm saying? And so that's very inspiring to me. Like, just like I made it, in the grand scheme, they made it as well. And so I don't think I've never had that feeling at all.
And I got to ask this question. When it comes to the game is over, time to relax, and I guess maybe just clear your mind from all the crazy stuff that goes with the game, what's the fun things that you do outside of the game? When you have time to just space out, relax, and not worry about media and all this other stuff that comes with, you know, the pro league?
I listen to a whole lot of music. I listen to a lot of music. I think as I've gotten older, I've picked up more books, so I read a lot. I love going to the movies. I try to go to the movies like once a week. Tuesdays is the cheap day. I went to movies every Tuesday night, $5 movies, $2 popcorn, $1 drinks. California.
He knows the spots, man.
Every Tuesday. You know, I'm just, you know, I go to yoga. You know, I love going on hikes. I'm very into nature. I love nature. And so, you know, I just do weird stuff like that.
No, that's
I love it though. That's just what I do for fun. I have a close knit group of friends, so also hanging out with my friends is awesome. Whatever that is. It might just be chilling at the house, playing games, having drinks, going to the club, whatever. Like I feel like as I've gotten older, I don't really go out too much, but I still go out, do my thing, cut up the dance floor. But I feel like the things before that is the things that I usually do on a daily basis.
I gotta ask this question. Time is running out, but I want to ask this question. Make sure I get this in. There's a lot of young people that's going to listen to this episode as well. What will you say to the youth today? They have all these distractions. What will you say to them so that they make sure that they're chasing their dream the right way, like you are doing yours successfully, with clarity?
Turn the TV off. Pick up a book.
Yes.
Turn the radio off. Turn the phone off for sure.
That's what Mom just said.
Turn the phone off. Spend time with people. Talk to people. Connect with people. And again, pick up a book, man. Pick up a book and read a book, because I feel like I've obtained so much knowledge from, reading, and I feel like I wish I would have started reading at a younger age. I feel like I've learned so much about myself, so much about people, just by reading. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say turn the TV off is because it's just so much mess on the TV. Like only time I watch TV is if LeBron James is playing. That's the only time. The only time I'm watching TV. But it's just so much mess. It's so much pollution. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, man, everything on the TV, everything on the media is all lies. You know what I'm saying? The news, everything is just so superficial. It's fake. The reality TV shows, everything is so fake, and it's dumbing us down. And they put that. And I believe that they put these things on the airways for a reason, to dumbing us down, you know what I'm saying? Because when we're all dumb as a people, they can do things to us that we're not even aware of. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm one of those. I'm a real deep thinker, and I'm a realist. You know what I'm saying? I've done my research, and so just put the stuff down, man. Eat healthier, read, spend time with people, put the phones down. Yeah, man, like your life would be so much better. And then, doing that, you start to compare your life to others,
you
Instagram.
get caught up in the hype.
Yeah, you just get caught up in all that mess, and you start to think of yourself as lower than what you really are. You know what I'm saying? You see this, you know what I'm saying? And for the girls, you see these fine Instagram models on IG, you know what I'm saying, with $100,000 followers, you know what I'm saying, but they got $10 in their bank account.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man? I lived in LA for a year and a half, so I've seen it all, man. So just put it down, man. Just put it down, because I do it, I admit, just seeing the things on the TV, the phone, it's easy to start comparing yourself, to other people. And I don't believe that's what we were put on this earth for. So I was here, I believe we was here to uplift each other and to love one another in spite of our differences. And so, yeah, just put it all down. Spend time, even if it's 30 minutes, spend time with yourself. Spend time with God. Spend time with your spirit. Just put it down.
I have to ask this next question. You talked about books. What is a book that comes to mind that you just love? It just, boom.
Dang. My favorite book, I can truly say, is Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery by Naeem Akbar. Because though we've been out of slavery for so long, us as a people, as black people, black America, we still suffer a lot of the symptoms of slavery. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there was a famous slave owner, Willie Lynch. He said, what did he say? He said, take the mind, keep the body. And he was like, and if you take their mind, even without the chains, for over 400 years, they will still be slaves to you. Wow. Think about how long we've been out of slavery.
That's powerful.
You know what I'm saying? And think about how we act as a people. You know what I'm saying? It was very strategic plan, but it worked. It worked. So that's why you have, you know, your biggest, strongest slave on the plantation, but he can be the weakest mentally because they took the mind and they kept the body. You know what I'm saying? And so reading books like that is definitely helped me learn about myself, learn about my people, and I'm addicted. I'm addicted and I love it, man, because everything that they have told us has been a lie, you know? And I feel like I never would have known that if I would have, you know, reached out and started reading these books and, you know, learning about myself and learning about where I come from, because I'm a firm believer you don't know where you're going until you learn where you come from, you know? And so reading books like that, and also a book called Know Thyself, those are probably my two favorite books.
Man, so you got some bars too, man.
Yeah.
I always say that on shows because when you drop some golden nuggets, I'm going to call you a rapper.
Yeah. I honestly feel like in my last life I was a rapper.
All right.
I was a rapper. Or, I don't know.
In his last
Maybe I
life.
wasn't. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a teacher or something. But
I can see both, man.
Yeah.
Because teachers got bars
But I
too.
can't rap to save my life.
Oh, yeah.
But I wish I could.
Reading is more important.
Yeah.
Reading is more important. Because, you know, a good beat is good, but, you know, you got some mumble rapping too nowadays.
Yeah.
When it comes to, you know, you really into the heavy self-education awareness, do you have teammates or friends in the league where you guys have the same kind of outlook on life, or?
Of course, and I that's what, you know, attracts you to people is that alikeness, to be able to talk about certain subjects to that, you know, that matter. I just feel like, you know, they say birds of a feather flock together. So I feel like if you're more conscious of, you know, what's going on in America and in the world, I feel like you're going to attract people that are conscious and aware and care about what's going on and understand, who want to understand, you know, what's going on in the world. So I just feel like everybody in my circle pretty much is the same. We're not afraid to ask questions. We're not afraid to go against the grain. We're not afraid to, you know, to call the truth for what it is. Because, I mean, let's be honest, the truth does hurt sometimes, and the truth is uncomfortable. And us as we're creatures of habit. So the last thing we want to be is uncomfortable. And so to just finding a group of people that are not afraid to be uncomfortable, not afraid to ask different questions, like, those are the people I rock with for sure.
Man, I had no idea this podcast was going to go in this direction.
Football players are smart too.
No. Yeah. Because what I like about it is the realness and the fact that you're not afraid to just say, yo, I'm different. I like books. Because in today's world, for young people, it's more the flash, you know, the bling and popularity, the likes, the follows. Once again, to the young people, outside of starting reading books and turn off the television, what's some of the habits they should establish before, you know, they get to college and in their career job?
Definitely time management. My time management was terrible when I first got to college. You gotta balance play and work, you know? And I feel like when you do that in high school, you know, it's only gonna carry over, you know, good habits. And also, like, I can't say it enough, like, having the right people around you, you know? And when you have the right people around you, you're gonna wanna do right. You're gonna naturally do right, you know, for the most part. And so, man, you just gotta have people with you that want the same thing as you. You know what I'm saying? If a lot of times if you're hanging around failures, a lot of times you're going to be a failure.
Be the next one.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to be right there with them. You know, a lot of times, you know, working in the school system, probably in ISS, it's probably never just one of them. It's probably a group of their friends. It's probably 3. It's probably 4. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? You are who you hang around, you know? And so
that's good.
If you want to hang around people that strive to go to college, the chances are you're probably going to want to go to college. So, and I think we don't give enough credit to that, because with that, you know, they nurture that mindset, they nurture different ideas, and that ultimately, that does most of the work for you, you know, getting the right people around you. So, yeah, time management and keeping really good people around you.
I really like how you saying you be the next one, because that's very true. You're going to level up and set more goals, or I guess I can say you're going to dumb it down.
Right.
And not have any goals.
Right. It's cool to be dumb nowadays.
Well, yeah.
It's popular.
You're right.
It's very popular to be dumb.
You're very right. You know, if you just turn on the TV, you know, you're exactly
it's
right.
It's very, like, just the younger generation, like, it's cool. It's cool to not know anything. It's cool to, you know, try to be hard and just ignorant. Like, it's just, yeah, that's cool nowadays. And I can't wrap my mind around, like, I understand where it's coming from. It's coming from a place people don't even know of, but I understand what they're trying to do, and it's working. You know what I'm saying? Just think about many of our kids, you know, that's just feeding themselves just junk, man. And you can see it. You can see it in their lifestyle, the way they think, the way they act. And like, man, somebody need to tell them, like, you know, excuse my language, if that shit ain't cool,
yeah,
it's not cool, because that's going to lead you to no job, in jail, or, you know,
the opposite where you could
be. Where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to look back on yourself and be like, damn,
I fell for it.
That wasn't cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool. So,
I mean, I just want to definitely thank you so much taking time out of your absolutely crazy schedule to come to Iron Refocused podcast, to drop bars throughout the whole show. I didn't have to ask too many questions, because you just kept coming with the water. Just, man. Before we close, man, you want to give some shout outs to your people, man? Who you want to give shout outs to, man?
I want to give a shout out to my mom, everything that she does for me, just for bringing me in this world. I know as a woman, not only as a woman, but as a black woman, it's not the easiest. And, you know, I truly feel like y'all are the strongest, you know, people on this earth, to endure everything that you've endured and to still be here and to still provide. Like, that means a lot to me. Give a shout out to my family, my boys, my homeboys. I don't want to get the shouting out, because I'm gonna start forgetting people. But just I'll just say my family. Yeah, my pops.
Shout out to
pops, man. You know what I'm saying? Just everybody, and just you know what I'm saying? Just shout out to everybody under the sound of my voice. Old, young, black, white, Hispanic, Asian. It doesn't matter, man. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Had a blast. I hope I get invited back, man. Definitely. Thank you guys.
Man, you come anytime. You want to do a Skype audio phone call, you just say the word to your mom, and she get with us. We'll make it work, man. I just want to shake your hand and say thank you, sir. We are talking to Darrell Green. He is with Buffalo Bills running back, and he's about to kill it this season. Hey, like we always say every single show before we leave, keep God first, stay focused, and peace.
Peace.